Hi, it's me again. Well, this is my next video diary. Um, I took a little tips by watching the last video, and I really want to focus on one particular item today, which would be my mom. The things I'm about to tell you, um, I want to show them because I want people to realize what you could really do to a person as far as emotionally, mentally, and physically, and what it really does to a person. Um, these examples that I do today, um, most are from my childhood with my mom, and they're some of the things that mean a lot to me, as a person. My mom never listened to me. She never cared. So, here we go. I got my list right here. All right, one I want to say is in my first video, I had talked about the Ritalin. Um, I was on super, super, super high doses, and it wasn't good. So, I wanted to point that out. Okay. One of the abuse days that I remember is she picked me up by my neck. My back was against the wall, and my feet were literally up in the air. So, when you do that to a child, it really, really scares them. I don't think any child should have fear put in them. Um, I myself, with my kids, I really tried to practice that as much as I could. My daughter, she really didn't get much a spanking. That's the most. Um, my son, yeah, he got spanked, and times were really frustrating, but I never left bruises on him. I didn't do all the things that my mom now sits there and says, "One second, honey needs out." Okay, anyways, um, I will talk about my kids in a later video, but that's the extent of it for right now. Um, Number two, she didn't teach me anything. Um, we ate fast food 90% of the time. She did not teach me how to cook. She did not teach me how to keep a tidy house. My hygiene was really poor. I really don't ever remember her teaching me to brush my teeth, or, yeah, it's a good possibility I did get a bath either at least every other night. I can't really say nothing bad about that one. I was definitely not a dirty girl. Okay, so the next. Um, One day, she, I don't know if it was a slap or an actual punch, um, but she did give me a bloody nose. And my dad was around to witness that. And my dad threatened her. So my dad actually had no clue what it was like when he wasn't there. Um, my mom was a total different person. Jekyll and Hyde. That's what I call it. Alright, next. I was very, very, very angry at her. Um, I hated her a lot. And hate is a strong word. Um, I have, at this point in time, complete disgust for her. Um, everything that she's done to me, which you'll hear throughout the videos, it's a really long history. So I really, I wanted to be accepted by her. I wanted her love. She was my mom, you know. I wanted to be loved. And I didn't get it. She didn't love me. And I hated her because she wouldn't give it to me. So, enough on that one. Let's see. Okay, next. When I was a really cluttered, I should say, type child. I didn't clean my room. I was messy. Basically, until I had kids, I was messy. So, and then my kids made it worse. But she would tell me that she is going to throw my stuff away if I didn't clean my room. But yep, guess what? She did. She gutted my room. And I had gotten a Cabbage Patch doll for Christmas one year. And I love that doll. I love that doll a lot. And she knew it. She threw it in the trash. And when my dad found out, the trash was already gone. That really hurt me. That really made me feel really bad. That wasn't cool. Alright, when my dad came home, he was an over-road truck driver. And he would be gone weeks at a time. So when he did come home, the last place we all lived together as a family, I remember she would pretty much not let him leave their bedroom. And I went in there particularly one day, and she wouldn't let me have anything to do with my dad. It was like, you know, I'm a daddy's girl. So, you know, she didn't like that. She is the type of person that pretty much wants to destroy anybody any way she can. Very vicious and vengeful. That's another thing. You talk bad to her, you point out her faults, she's gonna get you. Payback. She's gonna get you. She's done it to me numerous occasions. And I am super, super nervous with this video because of that reason. Recently, January 2017, on 22nd, I cut contact with her. Later, I'll explain that. Okay, so next. My dad kicked her out, I think I was 10. She had slapped my sister, and I finally got enough voice, and me and my sister told my dad what had been going on around the house, and what she had been doing. That was my first step out as far as telling somebody what was going on. I loved that day. Freedom. That was awesome. I was finally able to be myself. My dad accepted me, and he didn't try to change me. He let me be who I was. One of the biggest things that I really liked is he let me find things out on my own. I was the type of child that I had to learn myself. You couldn't tell me. You could tell me 10 times in a row, and I'm still not going to listen to you. I just have to find out on my own. Alright, towards the end, before my dad kicked my mom out, she started hanging out with a woman that preferred opposite sex. I don't actually know if my mom did anything with her. There is speculation that that was the case. And that is pretty much around the time where my sister watched me more. She just stopped coming home. Once my dad went over the road, she went AWOL. That's about it. Alright. I never felt good enough. I always needed everybody's approval. I still struggle with that to this day. All the times my mom just pretty much called me a loser and I was a bad person and point out all my mistakes. Well, people make mistakes. You can make mistakes, but the biggest thing, if you learn from them, that's good. If you don't, you're screwed. But next, towards the end, as far as money, yes, my mom did work, but she would take that money and my dad's money from him being over the road. I remember there were times that my dad didn't have money to eat because she took it all. And I didn't see food in the house. I didn't see new clothes on me. I didn't see us taking vacations. I didn't see any of that money. And she would write check after check after check because when I was like 12, my dad had kept the check stubs. And I'm like, what? I saw it all. Not cool. Alright. We all know, I've said it before, she wouldn't accept me for who I am. I had started seeing psychiatrists pretty much 2 or 3 years old. And this went on and on and on until I finally said, I don't want to see him anymore. And I went off my meds and I just refused to take my meds because I had them shoved down my throat almost all my life. And in 2009, close to 2010, is actually when I decided to get back on medication. But we'll get to that at a later time. Let's see. One of the things that she would call me a liar. She would call me crazy. I've never been put down like she put me down. It really hurt me mentally. It really did. Very insecure. Yeah. Wasn't cool. You should support your child. You should love your child. You should want better for your child or do anything you can to help your child. And I did my best with my kids. Given where I was at that time, I really tried to imply that as much as possible. No, my environment was not good. At times it was good and at times it was shaky. I stress to you, don't put your child down. Don't make them feel bad. Don't give them a reason to be insecure or not be confident. You build your child into who they are by the things you do to them. And I didn't want my kids that way. Unfortunately, my mom has my son. But we'll get to that that whole saga is bad. Really bad. My daughter, doing good. Really good. Really happy. She ended up in good hands, for the most part. Alright. After my suicide in 2016, it was in the middle of November, which wasn't that long ago. I came home and I really started researching a lot. Mental health is one of the things that I really spent a lot of time in, like 2 months. I came across somebody called a narcissist. And when I would read the description of the type of person and how they're a narcissist, I really put two together. My mom, hands down. I always wondered why she was the way she was, and is there a name for it, or, am I gonna have it, or, I really wondered. I really did, and I struggled with my identity, along a really, really long time. Within the last couple of years is really the only time I've been comfortable with myself. Since my suicide, it's gotten a lot better. But yeah, she, you really should read up on narcissists. She's definitely fully narcissist, without a doubt. Alright, she likes to play the shame and blame game, is what I call it. She blames everybody else for her problems. And then she shames you to feel like it's your fault. Not cool. Take ownership for your own problems. I'm thankful I do. That's one quality I have gotten from my dad, or maybe whoever, I don't know. But I have it. I take responsibility for what I do. I always have. And I've always understood mainly what I do. From about 15 and older, for the most part. Once I got off the medications, I started down my life, is what I'd call it. It was my path to get where I am today. Long path, very, very long path. Alright, next. I started smoking marijuana when I was 12. In another video, I'll go to the extent of it. However, I was 13 the first time my mom smoked pot with me. And at 16, and then we'll get into that. But anyways, she likes to talk bad about everybody. I really have never found her to say one good thing about people, and it's people she meets, and she just talks about everybody behind their back, and she's so quick to point out their faults. It's always negative, negative Nancy, and nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy. That's one of the reasons I had cut contact in this January. I couldn't take it anymore. It was destroying my life. And a month prior to my suicide attempt, I had found out a lot of stuff, which we'll get into that. Okay, she's a user. Basically, she don't have nothing to do with you unless she can use you. So if you're no good to her, she don't care. She locked me in my room. Like I said, she locked me in the house, she locked me in my room. And unfortunately, I took on one of those traits, and I did that with my children. However, I did not do it like she did. timeouts with my daughter, I had no choice. She wouldn't sit in a timeout chair. She wouldn't do nothing. Period. I had to literally put her in her room for timeouts until she can cool off, figure out what she was doing wrong, and talk to me about it. And that's how I always did it. And at night, she wouldn't go to bed. Period. She wouldn't go to bed. And I didn't know what else to do. So, yeah, I locked her in her room, but I also slept 10 feet from her door. So, if she woke up at night, she knew she had to knock on the door. I'd get up. Period. Her dad didn't get up with her. I got up with her. So, that was one of the things that was a learned behavior. I justified myself. And I probably shouldn't have been locking my children in my room. And I do regret that. I have grown up a lot. This was back in 2005. I did it to my son. But like I said, I only did it during certain times. I was 10 feet from their doors. They always had something to drink, a snack, and they always had TV to watch. I had mountains of DVDs and VCR tapes. My daughter, she had satellite in her room. And all I had to do was program her channels to what she likes, and she had what she needed. I couldn't put it in my son's room. He would destroy it. So he had to deal with the VCR. Okay. Next. She always made me out to look like a really bad person. To her friends and anybody she could talk to about me. She always said I was a liar. And one thing I'm not good at is lying. I can't tell a lie. I'm just too honest. I don't like lying. That's one thing I just don't do. Everything I do ends up coming out in the wash later because I either feel guilty. I just don't like lying to people. It's not right at all. So that's one good thing I did not learn from my mom. I learned that from my dad. My dad's an honest man. I get a lot of qualities from my dad, and I'm really thankful. One of the reasons why I always wanted a better life is because I saw what I was going through. And I didn't want that for my children. I didn't want to be around it. I didn't want to have a dysfunctional home. Well, guess what? I ended up with dysfunctional home. All around. So, yeah. She was emotionally, physically, and mentally abusive. All the way around. She did everything. I don't ever remember having birthday parties. I have no photos that were taken of me having a birthday party, holidays, nothing. It's like she didn't even celebrate holidays. Christmas, yes, I do remember that. That we did celebrate. However, I don't have any pictures, but yeah, just really not a healthy environment. Nothing inspiring, nothing to motivate me to be a better person, nothing to motivate me to be educated and, walk the right path in life. No, nothing. Almost done here. She's very manipulative. At times I have been, and I will admit that. That is something that I've always recognized within myself. After I lost my kids, I went into probably the worst nervous breakdown anybody could go into. And in November, when I tried to kill myself, that was the beginning of my new life. That was the beginning for me to repair my life. It took that long for me to be able to come out of it. It damaged me that bad. It's with my mom, it's been a non-stop battle, and there's more to come on that. It has to do with my kids. This is just me, however, what I've had to deal with her. And this ain't it. This is just a small overview. We're at 25 minutes on this video, so she has really never said sorry to me ever in my life. I don't remember it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But she claimed she loved me. Ha! What a joke. I would consider her very callous. She is just an evil woman. I can't really even say one good thing about her, honestly. These are kind of some of the things you don't do to your kids. If you do this stuff to your kids, you're ruining their future. You're ruining them as a person. It was a little late for me. I hope this video reaches people and, you know, makes them think about what they do with their kids. I believe in discipline, but there's a certain measure of discipline. Think about what you do. Everything you do, it affects your children. Everything. So we're at 26 minutes. This is it for now. Till next time. Bye.